is, either you are in SQL or coding or any kind of section, first you need to finish the first question, then only you need to move to next one. I repeat, after completion of first question, then only you need to move to next one. Okay? Just by skipping the first one, if you move on to the second one, you can't go back to the previous question. I repeat, there is only unit traversal. Okay, one after another. Yes, you can't go back to the previous questions again. You can't revisit them. Once you are done with the question, once you have moved on to the next one, you can't go back to the previous question again. Am I clear, students? You will have two coding questions. Based on the cluster, your programming language will be varies. For cluster 1 people, they will get Java. For cluster 2, they will get Python. And for cluster 3, it is C#. And you can't change the cluster and you can't change the programming language as well. Now, when it comes to this cloud fundamentals section, you will have 10 MCQs. I repeat, you will have 10 multiple choice questions. You just need to choose one option among 4. And for cloud fundamentals, you will get 15 minutes. And cloud fundamentals is the only section which is a type of MCQs. Okay, when it comes to rest all the sections, either it is front end or coding or SQL, you need to write down the codes. Only for cloud fundamentals, it will be MCQs. Those who got cluster 2, they will get this SQL, Python and cloud fundamentals. All right. So I hope you people are clear with this. If you have any questions so far, kindly post it in QA box. I'll answer them. Else we'll move on to each and every. So you will be given a question and here you need to write the query. All right. Now, after writing down the query, there will be here options. If you click on this query, whatever the query you have written, it will be shown for you. If you click on this view schema, you are going to get the tables details, connections. Okay, like this. Okay, this is a table, and foreign key, primary key, yes. So if you click on view schema, you are going to get this schema. I mean the tables and connection. And so there will be given two options for you, just right below next to it, which are run query and check query. I hope it is visible here. So after writing down the query, you need to click on check query. I repeat, after writing down the query, you need to click on check query. The reason is this technical assessment score will be considered on the test cases passed. I repeat, the grading or the score of this technical assessment is totally based on the test cases passed. When it comes to SQL, you will have one test case. Okay, in technical terms, we will call it as data set. For SQL, you will have only one data set. So after writing down the query, if you click on that check query button, you will get to know whether that data set is cleared or not. I'll tell you, if you got a green tick, then that data set is cleared. If you got red cross mark, I mean red X mark, which means the test case is not passed, you can modify the query again. Yes, you can rewrite the query. Remember, if you have moved to the next question, you can't go back to the previous question again. Okay, first you need to complete the question 1, then only you need to move to question 2. Okay, just by mistake, or you may think like after some time I'll revisit the question again. First I'll solve the second question. It's tough for me to solve the first question. No, don't do that. After completion of first question only, go to the next one. Okay, if you just skip the first question and if you move on to the next one, you can't go back to the first question again. So don't do that mistake. Not only in SQL, either in cloud fundamentals or coding, any section in this technical assessment, after completion of the question only, move to the next one. You can't revisit the question again. Remember this point. I'm stressing this much. The reason is mostly students will do the same mistake that you can't go back to the previous question again. If you are done with the question, then only you move on to the next one. So I hope I'm clear. Now query, you will get to know the test case is passed or not. When it comes to run query, you will get to know the output of the query you have written. All right. Yes, it will show the output, the result. That's it. But please make sure that you need to click on check query. Then only you will get to know whether the data set is cleared or not. If you got a green tick mark, then you can move on to the next question. And when it comes to SQL, you will be given 35 minutes. Okay. Itself, you need to finish these two questions. And these are the topics you need to be good at to clear this SQL round. I mean, to clear this SQL section. Okay. Definitely, they are going. You need to make use of like operator or between, aliasing, where, having, group by, order by, functions. Mostly, definitely, you will, in order to solve a question, you need to make use of all these topics. So that is the reason I just make a list and I'm showing it to you. First question might be easy, but I'm not saying 100% easy. It might be. But when second question, you need to make sure that definitely you need to make use of joins. And in joins as well, you need to be good at inner join, self join, and outer join. I mean, in outer join, you will have left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join, right? So if you are good at these three joins, it is totally fine. So prepare accordingly. So I hope I am clear with the scale. Now I am moving on to the next round, which is coding. So based on the cluster, so you will get two coding questions. Okay. But according to the cluster, the programming language will vary. And you can't change the programming language. I repeat, you can't change the programming language. It is already fixed. Round code. Okay. A problem statement will be given for you, as well as, see, on your left side, the question is given. Okay. On your right side, here in this area, I'll show you. Just give me a moment. See, class name, method, which will be a predefined code already given for you. If you clearly observe at line number 9 and 10, read only region and write code here. Whatever the question, I mean, for coding question, you will see this comment definitely in your exam. Write code here. So below that comment, you need to write down your logic. Again, I'm repeating, a predefined code will be already given. This method declaration, this variables input, which is already there. So don't disturb that predefined code. I repeat, don't delete the code which is already present in that. You just need to add the logic. For this question, the logic is question number 11 to question number 20. All right. So the logic which we need to write is line number 11 to line number 20. This is what the logic we need to write. You shouldn't disturb the existing code. Yes, again and again I'm saying you shouldn't disturb the existing code. I'll tell you a few things. All right. Before that, let me tell you one thing. After writing down the code, what you need to do is just below that you will be given two buttons here. If you observe here, you will have compile and test and submit code. Okay. After writing down the code, what you need to do is click on this compile and test, that button, blue color button, compile and test. If you click on that, you will get to know the default test cases passed or not. Two test cases will be there. Okay. If you click on submit code, you will get to know how many test cases were passed. See, when it comes to SQL, one question, one test case. When it comes to coding, one question, 10 test cases. I repeat, for coding, you will have for one question, 10 test cases. So in this, you will have two questions, so 20 test cases. So all test cases needs to pass. Yes. See, I'll tell you something. Listen, like which I said earlier that your score will be considered based on this number of test cases passed, right? So for one code, they are going to allot you 10 marks. If 5 test cases were passed, you are going to get 5 marks out of 10. If 7 test cases were passed, you will get 7 marks out of 10. If 10 test cases were passed, you are going to get 10 marks out of 10. So it is totally up to you. Mandatory, I will say it is compulsory. Yes, it is mandatory to clear cases. And for this coding, for Java and C# people, you are going to get 1 hour, 60 minutes. For this section, the specified time frame for you is 60 minutes for Java and for C# people. When it comes to Python, you will get 70 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes. For Python, it is 1 hour, 10 minutes. For Java and for C#, it is 60 minutes.